Welcome to another episode of Rallotech Sports, Health, and Fitness Podcast. Um, just to kick off where I left off, I would like to premise that today is April 13, 2024, and this is episode 4. And due to unforeseen circumstances, one of my guests that I was going to have on, something came up, so we're going to try for another episode to get them on. But, in light of, differences and things that happen outside of your control, I really appreciate that I'm able to still kick off this episode 4 here and have some stuff to talk about. So, I don't have an intro, but to quote one of my artists that I still listen to from Jamaica, Popcorn, he said, "Me know say me have to win." The song started off by saying, "I know that I have to win." For my English audience that don't understand my Patwa, he said, "Me know say me have to win in Patwa," which is just saying, "I know I have to win, no matter the circumstances." That's really what the song is saying. But I love this song so much. I listen to it on repeat. Like, I listened to it repeatedly today and the day before, because funny enough, it's talking about the song itself. It's called Win. That's the title of the song. It's talking about how it's talking about basketball, to be honest with you. Even in the music video, I think they're in Trenchtown or St. Thomas playing like a tournament, and I guess Popcorn is one of the coach. So he's upset that the ref is not calling the foul on his team fair, and he's calling it one-sided. But as a coach myself and a referee, I can see both sides. You can't call everything. If you call everything, the game will last for like 8 hours, and nobody have time for that. So to say that, to say this, the intro for this episode is gonna be, "Me know say me fi win, yeah. House Panny Hill and all rubbish bin, yeah. Me know say me fi win." That just means I know I'm gonna win. No matter what, I know I'm gonna win. That's the long and short of it. Anyways, today I was lucky enough to take my son and my daughter to basketball with me. It was a very enlightening moment because I woke them up and they're excited to go. That's the one thing I gotta appreciate with, say Roman is my son, and Arian is my daughter. They're excited to come with me because they love to come to basketball, and I really don't want them to lose that love for the game, because I had that love for the game when I was their age until I started playing, and I even love the game more now than even back then. So to say the least, I know for a fact that the bug has been set in them, and it's just uphill from here. Like I was coaching my daughter that came with me to basketball, because we went to a park, and I was like, let me and it was like me and her are 1-on-1. I said, let's just go shoot around. So she said, "Can I go to the park first and play?" Because there's a playground right beside the basketball court, and it's an outdoor, so it was like warm enough it could be playing outdoor. I started shooting around, and lo and behold, she walked over and she's like, "Daddy, can I shoot too?" So I was like, "Sure, come on, sweetie." And I realized that the mechanics was off. So what I started showing her is fundamentals. I started showing her, setting up your shot, just so when you make your shot, you know how you set your hand under the ball. Just know that, if for the audience that are trying to learn how to play, and for the audience that know how to play, you know that if you're right hand dominant, that's the last hand that should touch the ball. And needless to say, the longest finger on the dominant hand should touch the ball last. So when I show her that, I start seeing the adjustment for an 8-year-old making the adjustment. Actually, she just turned 9, so for a 9-year-old making the adjustment, thinking about what I told her, utilizing what I told her, and making shots, it's like a dream come true. So, needless to say, I was really happy to see her coming into her mechanics, learning how to shoot properly, and just taking it away. But I gotta say, like, it was a upsetting day because I wanted to make it to provincial tournament, but the day turned out so much better than playing a provincial tournament because I was able to play basketball with my kids and hang out with them longer throughout the day than if I was playing a tournament this weekend, because the tournament is still going on. So a couple of my homeboys that I play ball with, I play against for most time for the spirit of competition. They're actually playing in the tournament this weekend, and I reached out to one of them, and he said that he's 1-1. Chargy know himself, so you message me that today, Chargy. Respect for reaching out. So yeah, he knows that I'm still checking in, even though I didn't get to either play against him or play with him. I still want to see my homeboys win, even if I'm not there to cheer them on, because it was too much for me to do all that I have to do with my kids today, plus go watch the tournament. But needless to say, it was like Ice Cube said in most of his song, today was a good day. It was actually a great day because I got to hang out with the kids, do some activity with the family, and then we sat and watched a movie at the end of the day. So how better can it get? Anyways, I want to jump into couple inspiration because this is my gratitude moment here that I wanna give a shout out to I call him cousin. I'm a cousin but is a guy that I played many basketball game against with, and we still reach out to each other even though we're thousands of miles away. But The Dungeon is one of my homeboy podcasts, and I must say they are my inspiration, and I gotta put that out there. They are my inspiration to launch my own and focus it around sports, because a lot of the sport events that I've put on, a lot of the skill challenge that I'm gonna be a part of, and even coming up in the summer, I'm gonna be part of FIBA sport event in Edmonton. I'm just amazed to see how much basketball have done for me. So, there's video footage coming out. It's just not enough time to put out all the footage and edit and all of that. And shout out to Shadia and Andy and The Dungeon again, because you guys are definitely an inspiration for me to put out this podcast. And I could not go without saying, like, support from my wife, support from my family to do what I can do at the highest level. I know I'm not in a D league or any other of those big leagues that actually pay you to play, but when you love something and you're doing it as a passion of yours, it doesn't seem as if you're losing. It seems like a win, because you still get to do what you love. Even though you're not getting paid for it, you still get to do what you love. So big shout out to Christine, my wife. Big shout out to my kids for supporting me, because along the way, when I have these crazy ideas that turn into something great, they still support me in and out. So I gotta give shout out to where people in my family actually reach out and be like, yo, keep doing your thing. And immediate family right there is my wife and my kids. They always show support, always show love. So I gotta give credit where credit is due, because at the end of the day, you don't want to go through life saying, oh, I forgot to thank this person and I forgot to thank that person. Just keep grinding. Just keep doing what you're doing. So I'm just gonna jump into what this next phase look like in the upcoming podcast, because I have a few people lined up, and have conversation with them and kind of get them to come on and share their life story, and have a conversation, to be honest with you, because as men who play basketball and having conversation with other men that play basketball, it just goes to show how similar life takes us down certain roads, or certain life journey takes you down certain path, where it might not be in the same country that you're experiencing those ups and downs while trying to navigate the basketball world, family and all of that. But it just goes to show, when you love basketball as how I do, and you focus on doing something that you love, then it is not a problem for you to teach it to others, or get people involved. So let's dive in. The thing that I look back on was I reached out to somebody on Wednesday of this week, and I said, "Hey, you can you make it to drop in basketball?" And the person said, "Yeah, for sure. I can come through because you know good you guys got good runs where we play ball." And to be honest with you, it was a good competition, to the point where we're squaring up against each other, imano, and the best man come out on top. Yeah, I lost. I'm not scared to say I lost those games, but I like the competition because iron sharpen iron. So when the guys that I played against keep pushing me to be better, keep pushing me to see the game outside of the game, I love those aspects, because if you're just playing ball for fun, you're not growing. If you're just playing for fun, you're not growing. You're not building your skill set. You're not going in your bag, as some players would put it, to bring out the best in you. So at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I'm building my game to the point where I can't do it anymore. I can teach my game that I had, because when I step on the court, it's not a joke thing when I want to play ball, and it's hard to see you're pushing 90 to 95% and 100% on the court. And then players that you're playing with, it's like, oh, my bad, or oh, I miss an open layup, or just the stupidest little things. I understand it, but when it's more of a consistent thing, where they just casually play ball, it's hard for you to grow doing that. However, in the spirit of competition, when you're playing against players that actually want to challenge you, play good defense on you, and watch you take them on, whether you miss the shot, you make a good pass, or you get an assist in the game, or whatever the case may be, it's still contributing to the game that you love to play. So I cannot just jump over it saying, like, because I still need to watch the film that we played on Wednesday, and I'm going to add it to this podcast. But however, the long and short of me playing against better players than casual players that I play with every Wednesday, it builds my skill set. It builds my arsenal of what I can come up with to play against better players than what I normally play with. And it's no shade to the other guys that I play with, but I need players that's going to lock me up on defense, so I have to think on how to make my next play. And most of the times, I prefer to get double team, because I know as soon as I get double team, one of my teammates is going to be open for an open shot. But then I can't make those shots for the guys that I'm passing the ball to. It's up on them to make an open layup or open shot while I'm getting double team. So I gotta give credit to that, because for me, that for me is like a workout. Because I was so sore after my game on Wednesday, I was like, this is exactly what I need. And then Thursday, Friday, I still put the work in. I still go hard to get the better side of me out, just so I can sharpen my skill. But what I want to do is to have I want to have feedback from my audience. I want to see where I can create more of I would say, like, more substance that I'm going to give you guys, because I've thought about what I can provide through the podcast, and one of the things I looked on was accepting feedback. Like, I spoke with somebody early on this week, and whether the feedback is coming from a negative standpoint or a positive standpoint, I welcome it, because that's how you learn. You learn from when people give you their feedback. You can't get in your feelings about it. And that's one thing I try not to do, because at the end of the day, we're trying to learn and grow. So when you get those feedbacks, the best thing you can do, take it, see where you can improve on it, and then improve on it. So I was hoping to have a conversation with a guy that I play with and a guy that I play against when we're playing pickup ball. But, as I said, for unseen circumstances, it couldn't happen. But as I said, stay tuned. More to come. I'm going to try and get I don't know if it will happen, but I'm praying for it to happen. I'm trying to get some people that I know have a higher skill set than myself and played even professional and overseas basketball, because I remember a time when guys that I used to play with, when I said I won my first championship in the Montego Bay Jarrett Park League, it's a men's league really, and it was one of the guys that I actually go up against. I remember him getting a scholarship to make it to NCAA, and one of the things I really appreciate I did just last month was watching the women's NCAA games, and I was blown away because it was the first time I sat down and watched an all-female NCAA game. I've watched March Madness for the male side of things, but I'm telling you, those girls were battling to the last breath. They were really going in, and I can't remember if it's Kristen Clark or Caitlin Clark, I think her name is. She's like a Steph Curry in the NCAA because she was pulling up from 30, 32, 33 feet. And I'm telling you that if I don't have a good workout to work the shoulders, I am pulling up no shots from there. She was pulling up some serious shots, and I was like, this one girl, she was 6'7". I can't remember her name, but I'm telling you, the stats after the game, the last 6 minutes, I think I asked my father-in-law to text me and tell me what the final score was, and he said the undefeated South Carolina team actually was trailing for the first two quarters, and they came back and won by I think 16 points or 13 points. But the 6'7" girl had I think 7 rebounds or 10 rebounds in 6 minutes. I can't remember the exact stats, but I was like, what? So it just goes to show that if these female that get a shot to go play in the WNBA from college is playing at such elite level, I can't half even think about, I just gonna play willy-nilly and just do my best playing, because I play post if I'm playing in a league, because I have the body to play post at 6'3". And if I'm just playing willy-nilly and playing 50% of my game, that's not good enough. Honestly, that's not good enough. And I don't care if it means that I have to hit the gym even more, do more cardio. Yeah, this is no excuse right now. And not that I'm looking to make it to any D1 or D2 league, because I'm older than when I just start playing ball. So I'm not looking to make it to any, elite league overseas or so on. But if it does happen and I get a shot to do it, I'm sure going to take that chance. I'm not going to just wait to think that I'm not good enough to make those leagues. I am going to go and give my all on the court. And, some days I'll have a good game. Some days I'll have an average game. But for sure, even on my worst days, even if I'm not making a shot, I'm making a lot of steals and blocks. That's my plan going into every game that I go into, because I'm not just going to half go in and half think that I'm going to make every shot that I pull up to take. No, that's not how the game goes. But, tomorrow I will be filming I have another men's league game booked for tomorrow in the afternoon. I can't remember the time because there's too much on the agenda some weekend. So tomorrow when I play my game, I will upload that footage, put it on the next podcast, and just show the growth since my men's league game versus this one, because there's a lot of things that I need to work on, and post for sure is one of the things I need to work on, because normally when I'm pick up basketball, it's for me to work on certain aspects of the games that I don't get to work on during an actual official game. So I'm gonna post those footage as well. But looking back on even the last 15 years of, say, being in Canada after leaving Jamaica and come here, going on 16 years now, I gotta say there's a lot of growth in my basketball game versus back then to now. There's a lot of growth, and I gotta give the credit to changing of mindset to let me think outside of the the negativity that would come with when you miss a shot and you feel down and you almost feel defeated that you missed the shot. No, even this morning with playing with my son, I said to him, I'm like, you missed a shot, move on from it. There's still no time machine. There's still not a time machine in the world that we know of anyways. I don't know if they're still working on one, but there's no time machine that we can go back in time and change the result of a missed shot. So we're not going to relish on that. And I played with him for my first 3 games, and then I played against him for my last 2 games, and boy's improving. The boy is actually improving. Like, he pull up from about 25 feet, make a couple swish. I'm just saying, he's growing in his craft. So I love the fact that he's confident enough now to take certain shots, and I can't wait to see him play against other players his age, because he needs that competition. Not just me playing against him, but he needs that competition to be very good at his game. And I know for my son and my daughter, if they decide to play, say, high school and middle school basketball, they will do the best they can with the skills that I've teach them. And I know for a fact that if I need to get him into a skill camp, I will get him into a skill camp so he can grow on, ball handling, passes, because today I have to get after him for a few passes that he made. But again, it's all a part of learning. It's all a part of him learning the game. And learning the game in the game is one of the best lessons you could ever have. Best lesson you could ever have is learning while he's playing. So, that's just my takeaway from playing basketball with him this morning. But I'd like for you guys to send me some topics that you'd like me to talk about, because at the end of the day, I want that feedback to see what I can improve on in my journey in this podcast, talking about health and fitness, and even changing of mindset. I should add that to the podcast every week too, like the changing of mindset and going when you feel as if you don't have the energy, you don't have the strength to go on. I'm going to touch on fitness a little bit. So yesterday, Friday, April 12th, normally I call it my lunch run before I actually have lunch. So I'll have lunch, I'll fast until I do a run, and then I'll have lunch after I do an hour or maybe between 45 minutes to an hour of running. Then I'll go have lunch after a shower at my workplace, because I have a spot to go freshen up after I'm done my run. But I was thankful that one of my colleagues at work actually came and come for a run with me, because we've talked about it a few times, because he normally goes for a run in the morning at 5 a.m. and I wish I had that dedication to get up at 5, go for a 5-kilometer run, and then come back, get ready for work, and then still do my lunch run. I know I will get there, but it's, again, changing of mindset. But he pushed me on my lunch run Friday, where to the point I had a headache because I was sleep deprived. But I was like, even though I'm sleep deprived, I'm still going to go for this run. And there's a nice path that we go on when we go for a run. He didn't even know about that path close to work. But I was like, all right, come on, let's go for this quick run. And within 38 minutes, we did 4 kilometers, and our last stretch of running was a hill plus staircase, because I said to him, I'm like, I want to hit 4K before we go back to work. And we ran the staircase, and in 38 minutes, I kid you not, I was out of breath. I had to catch my breath a few times because, man's not young like they used to be, and the lungs don't operate like it used to. So after doing my run on Friday, I felt so refreshed. Like, normally if I'm tired, I'll get a coffee or so on. Didn't need it at all. For the rest of the day, I was good. I was so good after my run, stretch, then shower. I didn't even need a drop of coffee. All I was craving was water, because I was so thirsty after my run. And it's so, I don't know if I have any runners in the audience here, but it's so refreshing to go for a good run and you're rejuvenated for the rest of the day. It's like somebody gave you the magic potion to stay awake. Because for the rest of the day, I was just pumped. And I was talking with one of my colleagues that I play ball. Not my colleague, but one of the guys that I play men's league with today. And he said normally they go for a run at 7, but because I can't go for a run at 7 to be at work in 45 minutes, I said to him, if we can plan a time that we can go for a run on the weekend, I want to try hitting 7K 4 or 5 times a week. And it seems like a lot, but when you dedicate a certain time throughout your day to say that, all right, I'm going to try to get 5. If I don't get 5, I get as close as 5 as I can. And then just grow from there. Just keep growing. And normally my first lap when I'm running would be my best lap so far is 6 minutes and 38 seconds. And if I can keep that pace, I can literally do 5 to 6 kilometers over an hour of lunch. I can do that. I know I can do that. And then have the time to stretch and go shower before I have to get back to work. But just keep in mind that, it's all a matter of growth. You have to start where you start at a comfortable position where you can, I don't know, do a 10-minute kilometer or do a 12-minute kilometer. And then just try to chip off 2 minutes off that. Chip off an extra 2 minutes off that each and every day that you're doing it. And you'll be surprised how quick you'll get down to like the goal. The goal, to be honest with you, is your first lap could be within 4 minutes. And if you can do 4-minute laps, you're killing it. You're killing it if you can do a 4-minute lap. Because I've watched older individuals than myself do a 3-minute lap. That means the first lap that he's doing is 3 minutes, he's hitting 1 kilometer. And I was like, what type of juice is this guy on? Because I'm looking at the older fella look like he's in retirement, and he's doing a 3-minute lap. A 3-minute lap is no joke, or a 4-minute lap is no joke. In other words, this guy's running laps around me, like I'm one of those guys that shouldn't have showed up for this trap meet. But it just goes to show, if you practice enough and you do it day in day out, and you religiously put in the work, you'll see better results. So it's just growth from here, to be honest with you, because I know if I don't put in this work, I'm damaging the future Rollin. I'm damaging the fitness of future Rollin, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to go down the path of having an excuse why I didn't go for a run, having an excuse why I didn't take an opportunity that was right in front of my face. And every time when those opportunities arise and you pass on it, who knows? That could be the one that sticks. So I gotta put it this way. And I learned this from a motivational person that I listen to. He said, even when you're at your best and you feel like you're burned out, still put in the work to do one more. Even when you're out of breath, put in the work to do one more rep, one more workout, one more push-up, one more lap of running, just to know that you've put everything on the line to make that one extra mile count. And if you don't push yourself to do better, you will stay the same. And that's not me. I'm not planning to stay the same. So just to my audience that tune in every time I drop a episode, just know that I will give you one more thing that I know you might be lacking in life. And if it's one more motivational message that I can send your way, just know that I am in your corner. If you need any guidance, any help, reach out to me. And for anybody that follow me but they don't have a phone number to reach out to me, I'm gonna declare that if you need somebody to talk to, whatever you're going through, please pick up the phone and give me a call, because I'm more than willing to talk to you guys. I'm more than willing to have a conversation with people, because people have done that for me, and I want to pay it forward. So anybody that needs to have a conversation, have a little chat with me, even if it's just a phone conversation, give me a call at 403-585-6100, because people have done that for me and I want to pass it on. And I think this is a good way to end this podcast for episode 4. And just know that we all have that winning spirit. As I started at the beginning, I know that I have to win. Not even just for me, but for my kids and my family. I know that I have to win. No matter the circumstances, I have to win. And we all have that winning mentality in us. We just need to bring it out. But thanks again for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you that tune in. And just know that, I'm here for you guys. Here for you if you need to have somebody to just listen to you talk for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm here all ears. So thanks again for tuning in to the Rallotech Sports, Health, and Fitness Podcast. Rallo out, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.